יום שישי הגיע, יום שישי הגיע, יום שישי הגיע, והוא בדיוק בזמן, כמה שחיכיתי כבר בעצם למה שהוא מרגיע, ואם פה אז זה סימן שלך עוד שבוע בשחט. יום שישי הגיע, Friday has arrived, Friday has arrived, and it comes right on time. I've been waiting for something relaxing, and if it's here then that's a sign that another week has gone. Here comes the quiet, Yom Shishi Hikia, Yom Shishi Hikia, Friday is here, Shabbat is now approaching, Yom Shishi Hikia.
Yom Shishi Hagia, the sixth day is here, and Shabbat is coming soon. Shabbat's coming right now, in that you can, in our tradition, greet Shabbat earlier than sunset. The idea is that Shabbat's a guest, and you can more eagerly welcome a guest even before an arrival formal time. Just like technically you can keep your guest a little longer. Traditionally, you can do Havdalah as late as Tuesday night, halfway through the week. But now we get ready to transition from the workday, from the weekday, from the blur of time into the sanctity of time. Bruchim Habayim, welcome your presence as we celebrate Shabbat.
Yedid nefesh av harachaman b'shoch avdach el ritzonach yarutz avdach k'mo ayah yishtachaveh muhadara ki erev lo yedidutach minofet tzuf v'chol tam Adonai ziv haolam nafshi cholat ahavatach ana elna refana la beharola ziva az tilchazeh v'titrapeh v'hayta lach shivchat olam yadadai yadadai Kabbalat Shabbat, page 11. Come, everyone, let's go and sing to Adonai. Lichud nivranina לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריע, נריע לצור אישנו, נפתמק פניו בתודה. נריע, נריע לצור אישנו, בזמירות נריע לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. כי המלך, כי הגודל לאדוני, מלך גדול. כי הוא אלוהים. Page 12, 40 שנה.
40 שנה.
אקוט בדור.
אקוט בדור.
והומה. עם טועה לבביהם.
עם טועה לבביהם.
והם לא ידעו.
והם לא ידעו.
דרכי.
דרכי
אשר נשבעתי ביפי. אם יבואון אל מנוחתי. יאידי, יאידי, Page 13, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו הגויים כבודו, בכל עמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומעולה מאוד נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהים עמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, הוד והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו. הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, צאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו. ישתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ותגל הארץ,
ותגל הארץ,
ירם הים,
ירם הים, ומלואו,
ילוז שדה,
ילוז שדה,
וכל אשר בו,
וכל אשר בו,
אז ירננו,
אז ירננו,
כל עצי ההר,
כל עצי ההר,
לפני אדוני קיווה,
לפני אדוני קיווה,
קיווה לשפוט הארץ,
קיווה לשפוט הארץ,
ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים באמונתו. Page 15. Hi, 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 Adonai malach tagil haaretz, yismechu yim rabim, anava arafel seviva tzedek u'mishpat הפר נכון כיסו את לבניו תלך ולהם סביב צרה יראו ורק אב תבל ראתה ותחל הרים קרונות אור זרו לצדיק ולישרי לב שמחה שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו. Sing to Adonai a new song, for Adonai has worked wonders. Yai dai 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 dai, yai yai dai, yai dai yai dai yai dai, yai dai yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai yai dai yai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai yai dai, yai dai 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 yai dai. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש כי נפלאות עשה. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש כי נפלאות עשה. יאי 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 yai dai yai dai dai yai 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 dai. On page 18 we read together in English. Call out to Adonai all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the guitar. Guitar and voices making music together with horns and shofar cries. Trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai. Let the sea and all that is in it roar. The earth and all who inhabit it thunder. Let rivers clap hands while mountains sing in harmony. Greeting Adonai who comes to judge the earth. Judging the world with justice and the nations with truth. Livnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel betzedek ve'amim b'meisharim. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtachavu Lehar Kodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtachavu Le'akodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtachavu Le'akodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Our Friday Psalm, page 21. הבו לאדוני בנעילים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד היא אדוני על מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני באדם, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני אל ארזי הלבנון, ויקידם כמו הגר, לבנון וסריון, כמו בן מימין, כל אדוני חוצה לבודש, כל אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול אל איילון, ויחשוף יערוב כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למה בו ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יבורך אל עמו בשלום. We greet the Shabbos bride on page 23, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, Yababai, 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 Pene Shabbat, Nekabla. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, Yababai, 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 Pene Shabbat, Nekabla. שמו וזכו בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך טובי לקראת קלה, יבבי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך טובי לקראת קלה, יבבי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נצוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך טוב לקראת קלה, יבבי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך טוב לקראת קלה, יבבי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך מלוכה, כה מצאים מתוך הפכה, רב לך שבר במקבך, והוא יחמול עלי חמלה. לך תודי לקראת קלה, יבבי 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת Kala yabba bye, Pene Shabbat Nikabila. Page 25. Chadodi Vikrat Kala Pene Shabbat Nikabila. והיו למשיסה סוסייך ורחקו קומב עולייך יסיס עולייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן על כלה לכדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לכדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה יום מינוס מול תפרוצי את אדוני תריצי על יריך פן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לכדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לכדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Rise and face the entryway to greet the Shabbos bride. Boi v'shalom ateret balav גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לכדודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לכדודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה יאי די די יאי די די די
At this point, we would greet those who are in mourning. In our congregation, we extend condolences to Pat Zakel, and this the week of his Shiva, for his mother, Edita Esther Zakeli. To a mourner we say, Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch sha'ar v'lei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the divine comfort you along with all the other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem.
Amen. The Psalm for Shabbat, page 27. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodo l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבר, עלי גאון בחינוך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפעלך, במעשה ידיך הרמים. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק התמר יפרח יפרח, צדיק התמר יפרח, צדיק התמר יפרח יפרח, צדיק התמר יפרח. כארץ בלבנון נזכה, כארץ בלבנון נזכה, כארץ בלבנון נזכה יזכה, כארץ balvano niske, keres balvano niske, keres balvano niske, niske. Edotecha nemnu meod, levetcha nava kodesh Adonai, liorech yamim. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 30. Those observing the Yortzeit or in mourning, please join me. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv yimru.
Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam omeo maya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudisha
Barichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'olma v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru.
Amen.
Rabbi Spitz.
Thank you, Carl. The Talmud, the Steinsaltz edition. This is published by Random House, and it was the first time a major American publisher agreed to publish the Talmud, which is our major communal conversation about Jewish law spanning the early centuries before the Common Era all the way up into the 5th century of the Common Era. This, just yesterday, Adin Steinsaltz passed away. And I want to celebrate his life and honor his memory with you. Adin Steinsaltz was born in Jerusalem in I want to make sure I get my years right. Let's see, I think it's 34. Let me check. No, 1937. He was born in Jerusalem in 1937, meaning he was 83 years old in his passing, to secular parents. But his father wanted his son to have a well-rounded education, and even though he was not religious, starting at the age of 10, he sent Adin, whose name means delicate, to study traditional Jewish text. Adin Steinsaltz, already as a young man, had an uncanny ability to absorb information. And as a teenager, now more fully immersed in Jewish learning, he would become a religious young man. By the age of 23, he became Israel's youngest school principal, became an educator. And starting in 1965, with the slogan, "Let my people know," he began to translate the Talmud. It would be a project that would span 45 years. He would first translate the Talmud into Hebrew, and mid-stride in that translation, it would then get translated by Random House into English. It wasn't a big seller, so after about the 6th or 7th volume in English, Random House stopped. But he completed all of it in Hebrew. Much of it was translated into Russian. And in more recent years, Koren, an Israeli publisher who does beautiful work would complete the translation and do it from scratch in a beautiful binding, but more. What Adin Steinsaltz did is he not only translated, he wrote a commentary, and the commentary would include pictures so people could see an object that was being discussed. It's a tour de force of achievement. Mind you, the Talmud is 63 volumes. If you study one folio, that's 2 pages a day, it takes 7.5 years just to read it. So you can imagine, in his case, translating and writing a commentary was his life's work. He also managed to write 60 other books on Jewish mysticism, philosophy, commentary to the Bible, to open a high school in Jerusalem that's considered a prestigious place of learning that he visited regularly, to create a system of Jewish learning in the former Soviet Republic, and to regularly teach in Jerusalem. I did have the privilege to find myself the end of Shabbat at Havdalah in the neighborhood where Adin Steinsaltz lived, finding myself next to Adin Steinsaltz. So as he was walking, leaving Havdalah, I said to him one evening, maybe 12 years ago, I said, I would love a conversation with you. To which he replied, and it was just the two of us walking through the streets at night. He said, if I had time for a conversation with everybody, I wouldn't have time to do my work. So I said to him, but I would still like a conversation with you. How can I contact you? And he said, my phone number is in the phone book. Call me. So I did. I called him, and he told me that he taught in his institute on Thursday nights, and I could come to the institute. So I did, and came to the class, but I found that there was only like 6 students in this class, and he was mumbling. He was hard to understand in his teaching. But right after class, I said, can I sit and talk to you? So he said, all right, come into my office. And he then began to interview me. But I wanted to interview him. So I said to him, wait, can I ask you a question or two? And he says, you know, a lot of people are afraid of me. And he said, I know I can be a little bit harsh sometimes, but know that I am well named Adin. In fact, I'm very shy. So that's my context for our conversation, and then continued to interview me. And when I told him I was a conservative rabbi, as an Orthodox rabbi in Israel, I didn't know how that would be received. He said, you know, I've admired those conservative rabbis who've taught their congregants well. I know of one synagogue I once was in, New Jersey, where the rabbi would find the expertise of congregants and have them teach their expertise and how it would apply to the Parsha. When you go back to your congregation, that's what you should consider doing. And in fact, I took his advice to heart. The last time I saw him was about 6-7 years ago. I was in Stockholm, Sweden, and he was teaching there, and I smile. He was a very small man with this enormous productivity and inspiring wisdom. But he could be physically a bit like a curmudgeon, very much a scholar, a little bent over and short, with a scraggly beard, with a sharp tongue. I remember in Stockholm he said to his crowd at some point, well, you know, in Sweden you have no sense of humor, which of course meant that they looked at each other, not being happy with that comment. And at the same time, He was a privilege to have met and to have been with him at other Havdalahs afterwards in Jerusalem, to have davened with him in the Shtiblich in Jerusalem, watching him in the Hasidic practice change his tefillin in the morning. He, Newsweek said, when he finished his Hebrew translation 15 or 20 years ago, said that he is the Jewish scholar of the millennium. Rashi lived in France 1040 to 1105 and wrote a commentary to the Talmud. Since then, no real complete commentary until this great man in our midst, Adin Steinsaltz. Adin Steinsaltz, who preferred to use toward the end of his life the name Evan Yisrael instead of Steinsaltz, the Stone of Israel. And indeed, we live in remarkable times of a flowering of Jewish learning. Let my people know was his slogan. For he felt that for the Jewish people to remain passionate required a quality of literacy, of access to our sacred conversations. He, more than anybody in our lifetime, opened the Talmud to us, to so many, and has enabled us to join the conversation across generations. Ribono Shalom, Master of the Universe, to have been in the presence of Adin Steinsaltz for those times I was, each time, was a privilege that I felt elevated by. But all of us are elevated by his writings, both the translation of the Talmud, but his other translations and writings on Jewish mysticism, conversations. May we continue to engage him through his writings. In doing so, we will be elevated. May his memory endure for us, Adin Evan Yisrael Steinsaltz, as a blessing. Amen.
Amen. Our call to prayer is found on page 39A. We rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMvorach Leolam Voed.
Baruch Adonai HaMvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Living and ever-present God, may your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uve laila. Adonai Tzvaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Shemo.
Hamari V'Aravim.
Amen.
Page 40. Avad Olam Bet Yisrael Amecha Ahavta Torah Mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu u'v'kuneinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed. Ki Hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu v'yorech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla v'yavatecha al tasir mimenu li'olamim Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Shema.
Ohev Amo Yisrael. 41. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך
ויהי שמות
ויהי
גם
שמות Adonai Elohechem Amen. On page 43 and 44, let's read together in English. You proclaimed the covenant on the seventh day. You declared it and decreed it. We listened and heard it. You loved this day we inherited, delighting in its remembrance, and began its command with the word, remember, Zachor. From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Jeshurun, the people you redeemed, securing the cause of righteousness. You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed. On the seventh day you rested. And on this day, Israel, your people rest. To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise, willingly accepting God's sovereignty. Then Moses, Miriam, and the people Israel joyfully sang to you, Who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, adorned in holiness, revered in praise, working wonders? מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש תורה תהילו עושה פלא נורא תהילו עושה פלא מלכותך רב ענך בוקר ים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמן כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני,
Shemo.
גל ישראל.
Amen.
Page 45. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmo Setenu Ufoenu Lechaim ul'shalom Me'ata v'ad olam Ufros aleinu Sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai Hapores Sukat Shalom Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim v'al kol yoshvei tevel. We rise, page 46.
Meru v'nei Yisrael.
Hashabat La'asod el Hashabat L'doratam b'rit olam Beini uven b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Ki shesher yamim asa Adonai El hashamayim v'et haaretz Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash. Yikadal v'yitkadosh shemei Rabbav Yamad yivrak yutev yamlich malchutei B'chayecho u'v'yomecho u'v'chayetecho beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'v'zman karim v'meru
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbo mivorach Le'olam ol me'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach Yitbar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei Kedusha
Berichu
Leila min kol berchata v'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran bi'alma.
v'meru.
Amen.
Amen.
Adin Steinsaltz was a hero for me, a role model, in terms of picking a goal and remaining steadfast over a lifetime in pursuing a big project. As we get ready to chant our Amidah, I invite you to bring one person to mind that you have met or heard present or that you have read, who for you is a hero, and bring that person to mind and find one quality that for you on this Shabbat is a source of uplift. Our private Amidah, pages 47 to 52.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו אמן. Page 53. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צלם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי בכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. 54. יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבו,
אמן.
ויאמר דבר קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכם ובימיכם ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגל ובזמן קריב. ואמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבו מבורך לעולם ולעולמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה
ברכו.
לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא. ואמרו
אמן.
תתקבל צלות הון אבות הון דכל ישראל, קדם אבות הון דבשמיא. ואמרו
אמן.
יהי שלום רבה מן שמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו
אמן.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. ואמרו אמן.
We bless our children on Friday night. Our sons, we say, may they be like Ephraim and Manasseh, who tradition teaches never fought with each other, and were the next link on the chain after Joseph, being Joseph's sons. And for daughters, may they be like our matriarchs, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. As Carl and I bless our children, we invite you to bless yours. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And we celebrate Shabbat as a gift with Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'mahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikrahei kodesh Zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Aleinu is found on page 56. We rise. Aleinu l'shabech ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer b'reshi, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzo, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'hanachnu kovrim, Tachavim modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim veyoser haaretz moshev yikaro b'shamayim ima'al ushchinatu zo b'gavei meromi Eloheinu, Eino, Eret Malkeinu, Efes Zulato, Kakatu, V'Torato, V'Yadata Hayom, V'Hashevota, Elavavecha. Ki Adonai, Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim ima'al, V'Haaretz, Mitachat ein od, Kakatu b'Toratecha, Adonai yimloch, Lilam va'ed, v'ne'emar, v'hoya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad. U'shemo,
As we prepare to recite Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, we again extend condolences to Pat Zakel on the passing of his mother at the age of 95, Adita Esther Zakeli. Yezichrona livracha, may her memory endure for you, Pat, for your wife, Michelle, and for your whole family as a blessing. This is the first Shabbat since the end of Shiva for Phyllis Abrams. We welcome you back, Phyllis, to Tustin from your mom's home in New Jersey. We extend again condolences on the passing of Anne Chana Miriam Glatt. May your mom's memory endure for you as a source of strength and love. And just yesterday, our congregant Scott Miller, yesterday being his 70th birthday, also lost his mother, Gloria Teresa Miller. That funeral will take place on Sunday. There will be some Shiva Minyanim yet to be sent out to you for Scott to be comforted and to honor his mother, Gloria. We observe, among others, the following yurtzites this week: William Littman, Judy Salomon, Abraham Isaac Zeigelbaum, Lily Sif, David Scheinman, Israel Lewis Glasser, Leah Miller, Murray Oxman, Victor Waba, Shirley Cohen, Ann Stein, Shirley Reichlin, Mark Merrill, Herman Gallant, Evelyn Prentice, Joe Steinberg, Lipa Beres, Ronald Michael Levitt, Sylvia Leiner, Jaime Prodsky, Ruth Hutt, Edward Sanford Berman, Paul Lair, Alan Schwalbe, Kate Lowenstein, Leah Golub, and John Baer. We join together honoring our loved ones. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute
בחייכנו ויומייכנו וחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבא מברך לעולם ומעלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וכל יושבי תבל, ואמרו amen. Shabbat is here, a chance to catch our breath after a very busy week, and with announcements to look forward to the coming week. Tomorrow morning, before we get to the next week, stay focused on Shabbat. Tomorrow morning, Carl will join Amy Robinson Katz and myself for the once a month more instrumental musical Shabbat celebration, which we call Yismechu. That service tomorrow will be at 10 o'clock. The Torah reading would be, if we were reading Torah, which we're not, but it's always, the way we Jews keep time is with what is the Parsha, Parsha Ekev, Moses' third presentation to the people getting ready to enter into the Promised Land. And tomorrow in my teaching, I'll talk about Moses' greatest fear on behalf of the people in their future life in the land of Israel. In the evening, we have Havdalah. Emily Fisher, our USY director, will be leading Havdalah, probably about 8:45. You'll find that on our website or on our Facebook page. In terms of our Facebook page and our website, Carl on Sunday begins to film to prepare for the family services that Carl is going to be doing on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I know that Carl has been immersed in processing, preparing, harvesting your participation as we begin this coming week in earnest, a very big team, to hopefully inspire and even wow you from the best seats in the house, your house, as you share High Holidays both with us but with the whole community. You want to add one word about that, Carl, in terms of how they're going to be wowed by High Holidays?
I don't want to build up expectations too high, but I think it's going to be something multi-generational that everyone will enjoy watching, visually and musically. I look forward to your enjoying it. We've got 6 weeks until you get a chance to see it, but we're busy in production right now.
Go to our website, cbi18.org, and I really am excited in terms of energized by this creative challenge of creating a High Holidays on the screen, some of it live, some of it recorded, all of it live for the viewer. And let your family and friends know, wherever they may be, that they may want to share some of that High Holidays with us as well. We conclude our celebration of Shabbat with
Shalom Aleichem.
greeting the angels.
Wishing you the angels of peace come to visit you in your homes at your Shabbos table. Page 5, if you'd like to join me. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharei, Malachei Elyohu, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyohu, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ברוך הוא מלשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון. יהי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צריכם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. יאי די די, יאי די די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די די, יאי די.
I want to welcome Carol Serber to our community. This was her first week as our executive director. Much success, Carol. Welcome. Carl, thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
everyone.
Shalom.